How's it going?
All right, all right. I'm more nervous than I thought I'd be. I didn't think I'd be nervous. I have this energy thing, this blockage or something that I've been dealing with for years, and for some reason it's really, like I'm feeling nervous up here in that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you see that? Do you like see auras and stuff? Is that your...
Not necessarily. It's funny that when you say it, I often feel it. So when people start describing things, I directly feel it when they're talking about it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why. It just happens. Yeah.
I guess I was wondering if you said that you can very quickly figure out somebody's fixation.
Usually.
Is that something you can do here?
It usually just happens. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not like I try to do it or it's a project, but when people say, what do you do or how do you, I think I say that partially to just point out, like, it's not like I have some big knowledge base. It's not like I know a lot or something. It's just a feel. It's a feel thing. And usually the feel of it is something feels a little fixated and then we kind of just go to it and address it.
Mm-hmm. Can you feel my fixation, or would I have to say something?
Not yet.
Okay.
If I'm honest, yeah.
So I guess, I've done a ton of retreats and all that stuff. And I'm kind of at that point where I don't really give a fuck about like the past or the future. And I don't feel fully invested in like big identity stuff. But
you say you do feel?
I don't feel
Okay.
super identified with like big identity stuff.
Yeah.
I'm kind of fluid as far as, like weird stuff happens in my life and I just kind of accept it and adjust to it. But I think the big fixation is like minor annoyances. I guess it's like third and fourth fetter, like just like like stupid, really stupid and like annoyances.
Yeah.
And frustration.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, that's very common when the identity structure has loosened up significantly and there's clarity, like as the previous person was up here, and then even we've done some emotion work or that emotion stuff has started to process and so forth. A lot of times we're left with this sort of, you said it very well, there's like the sort of gross emotional fixations and all that, and then you get to the subtle stuff it's just like the layer of emotional, the layer just above the sort of energetic restlessness that's the emotional component of it, the sort of remnants of our identity with the physical body, and processing as this kind of irritability, frustration, annoyance, sometimes impatience, and yeah, it's something that's very common, and it can be a little tricky because it can be not really obvious always what it's about. I just kind of feel like it's there a lot of the time. Like we just feel irritable almost or something like that. But you can, since you mentioned the fetters, you can actually look for any true reactivity trigger. So something that really does trigger you consistently, and only you know what that is, but it's not hard to usually figure it out if you just watch how you move through the world, and for about 2 or 3 days, you'll find something. If there is one, you'll find it, and just find out what it is that actually triggers you and get to the root of it in the way that I described, I don't know, a couple of days ago, but it usually comes in the form of this person's not doing what I expect them to be doing or what I want them to be doing. And that causes a feeling, it seems to result in a feeling or a sensation that's uncomfortable, that feels rather squirmy, rather reactive, rather restless, and then being able to just actually stop there. Because usually even this is a big step to get to that, because usually we just want to turn in the other direction when the trigger's there, and that other direction is usually a distraction or justification in the mind or a mental trip that we go on, or a behavior of some kind. But to actually stop and turn directly toward that discomfort is so it's a big step in the right direction. Are you able to do that kind of thing?
It's hard for me to really, I don't know if I can. That's kind of what you were saying about like the emotions too, right? Like that there's some specific emotion that's behind.
Yeah.
Like if that comes up, like impatience and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is impatience the
Impatience is a big one, yeah.
A big one? What would impatience say if it had a voice about what's happening? Not even like specific to you, but just in general.
I don't know, hurry the fuck up. Just like
say again?
Hurry the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like let's move this. Let's get this on moving.
Yeah. What is it saying in terms of what's real and what's not real? in terms of thoughts versus what's really happening versus the mind?
What's real? What's not real? What was the question again?
Like, what do you think impatience would say about this? If I feel impatient right now, what is that actually saying about the nature of this experience and this reality?
I guess that I'm not accepting reality the way.
Right. Certainly a component of this non-acceptance. So it's kind of saying like impatience has to do with time. There's a fixation of time in there, right? So impatience is saying what's happening right now is not what I actually want to be happening. I want the future I'm imagining right now to be superimposed onto this, and I'm mad that it's not. That doesn't make any sense. That's nonsense, right? But we believe it. We actually believe like I can accelerate time something by just not liking this enough. Doesn't even make sense. Yet we really buy into it, and we fantasize about what's going to happen next and how mad I am at that person and what I want to say to them because they're in my way of superimposing the imagined future I have onto this moment. Right? So this is what I mean by slowing down and really breaking things down and seeing like impatience is about control. Frustration is about control. Frustration is very related to it. Frustration is just saying like, I like whatever's happening right now, I want it to not be happening. I want it to be happening the way I'm imagining it happening right now. Impatience says what's happening right now is just not good enough. I want what I'm imagining will happen later to be happening right now. And it's making me mad that it's not happening because I'm imagining it to be happening. It's actually a really like childish mindset, or it's something that like you can see children feel that emotion of impatience when they're trying to build something and it doesn't happen, or not impatience but frustration. They're trying to build something or put something together and they get frustrated because their little coordinated hands aren't quite coordinated enough. Like I watched my kids go through that too. So it's something that we develop in a very young age, but we can always deconstruct it when we're older and just realize like no matter how much how angry I get, how much I insist it, and how much I run to an imagined idealized state or future state, it doesn't change what's happening in front of my face. So then we're left with going, okay, well, why is this bad in the first place? What is actually wrong with this right now, this moment? What is in this moment that is not okay? What can I find in this experience right now that's not okay? Which brings you directly back to the present mentally. And after going through all of this, if this is something that's interesting for you to do, just make sure you're with the feelings the whole time. Stay with the sensations of the body as you're doing this. Because with impatience specifically, often the imagination is where we're running to without realizing it. We're uncomfortable in this moment, and for whatever reason. There's often not even a reason, really. Sometimes there is, sometimes there's not. But we're just uncomfortable in this moment. So what we're doing is we're using our imagination to imagine the next moment. What happens when I get home and I can relax and drink a beer or whatever we think we're going to do. So feel that feeling of like, not good enough. This is not good enough. This moment is not good enough. And if you feel that deeply enough, you might start to notice like, finger points that way, it also points this way. I'm not good enough. That's the sequence I would usually expect to find. And find out what you're angry at. If there's anger underneath it, find out what you're really angry at.
Like at the very root level, like
could be something very simple, mundane, could be something in your life, could be in the past your boundaries were violated, could be in the present your boundaries are violated, it could be all kinds of things, but underneath this there's often anger. And just explore all of it.
Okay.
Yeah, take some time with it, and never add self-judgment to any of it. It's all normal. It's all completely normal. It's all very human. But explore it. Slow down. You have the clarity to do this. That's the beauty of it. So slow down. Take one thing at a time, one belief at a time, one sensation at a time, one emotion at a time, and don't be surprised if you see a kind of a tiger in there somewhere, like a really raging anger. You asked me what the fixation is. I don't know what a fixation is, but I feel anger. I feel probably there's some anger hiding in there somewhere.
Okay. Probably, yeah.
I only said that because you asked me.
Okay. Great. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And an avoidance of it, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. I don't know why I'm up here in this thing.
Yeah.
And like that energy seems to...
Anger hides in, a lot of times it'll literally hide in a space like that in your mid-back or something like that.
Like behind the heart, like that type of...
Totally.
Okay.
Yep. It's just saying, look at me, here, unpack it. And sometimes you can go directly to the pain and the sensation. You do all the things that soothe it and help and comfort yourself. Sometimes you really have to unpack the emotions, the narratives, the beliefs about it, all of it. When you start to unpack that, this may start feeling really different. Start moving. That energy may start moving.
Okay, great.
Cool, man.
Thanks.
Thank you.